For one more commissioner, he should be here shortly. All right, let's call this meeting to order at 6:04. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Commissioner Long? Here. Commissioner Madrid? Here. Commissioner Thomas?
Here.
Vice Chair Diedrich? Chair Ledoux?
And I'm here too, thank you. Joe is going to lead us in the pledge tonight. All right, thank you, Joe. All right, no presentations tonight. We're going to move on to agenda approval or modifications. Are there any modifications to tonight's agenda?
There are none.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to ask the commission for approval of tonight's agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, hearing none. Moving on to public comments. Madam Clerk, are there any requests to speak on any non-agendized items tonight?
No, there are not.
All right, anybody in the audience want to speak on anything that's not on the agenda tonight? All right. I'd like to ask the Planning Commission for approval of the January 10th, 2024 minutes. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving right along. Nothing on our consent calendar tonight. So we'll move right into public hearing items. 9.1, the Menifee North Specific Plan Amendment and Tentative Track Maps. My understanding is that this item is going to be continued. Okay. I'll need a motion and a second, please, to continue the public hearing to a date uncertain. I'll move. And this will be an electronic vote. All right. And that passes. We'll go on to discussion items. We have a general plan annual progress report for 2023 with the assistant planner Kimberly Luna. She's going to be presenting tonight. Okay, thank you. Take it away.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission. The item before you today is the annual progress report for the 2023 calendar year. So state law requires that all jurisdictions prepare an annual progress report and submit to the Office of Planning and Research and the Department of Housing and Community Development by April 1st of each year. The city's reports on the goals and policies of the adopted general plan, and we report on the program actions in the housing element, as well as give an update on the regional housing needs allocation, and this is all required under state law. So essentially, this is a yearly check-in on how we're doing on our goals and policies, as well as on housing production. In terms of the general plan, just some background, it was adopted in December of 2013 with our most comprehensive update to the housing, land use, and safety elements being adopted in December of 2021. The general plan has 8 elements. Each of those elements carries goals and policies that carries the city's vision out to 2035. The implementation actions were developed to help the city carry out those goals and policies identified in the general plan. And in our report to you tonight, specifically in Appendix A, we provide a status update on each of those implementation actions. Although we won't discuss all 293 implementation actions, I do want to highlight some of the most notable accomplishments this last year. In March of last year, the city adopted the local hazard mitigation plan. And then in April, HCD determined that the housing elements was in full compliance with state law. In July, the Parks and Recreation Master Plan was updated and adopted. And then under our capital improvements programs, over $700 million in funding was adopted to fund transportation and traffic related projects just over the next 5 years. The annual progress report also includes updates on 42 program actions listed in the housing element. Those updates are noted in Appendix B, Table D of the report. Again, I want to highlight some notable accomplishments from the work staff has done this past year. Under Program 5, the city amended the development code to include state required provisions to allow by right processing of sites identified in previous housing elements. Program Action 9 is an annual work effort to assist seniors with minor home repairs. This last year, we helped 12 households. And in addition to our senior minor home repair grant, the city announced and launched the single family home improvement grant. This grant assisted 8 households last year. And then under Program Action 29 and 30, this is an effort on our housing market impact and inclusionary housing feasibility study. This work began last year and is close to completion, and with draft studies being reviewed and will be complete this year. And then last year before you, we presented another code amendment with various housing updates. Those updates not only implement housing laws, but they also implement 8 more program actions, and those were listed in your staff report tonight. Again, we report on RENA, and RENA is the number of housing units the city is required to accommodate throughout the city. As you can see, Menifee's RENA allocation for the 6th cycle is 6,609 units, and these are broken into down by income categories. The income ranges are change every year, and they're established by HUD. This year, our median income was 94,500. And just this table provides a breakdown of our 8-year planning period. If you can see here, in our income category above moderate, we've already fulfilled all of our units for the above moderate. And just in these 2 full years alone, and then some of 2021. And then there was, compared to last year, we issued 682 more permits than last year. So that's a significant increase just from last year.
Can I ask a question on that?
Yeah.
So on the very low and low where it says 1,757 and 1045, do apartments count as a full unit to that, or does it have to be like a single family residence?
Yes, apartments count as a full unit, so each unit in those apartments will be a unit.
If I can just add a comment, assuming that those apartments would be considered either very low or low.
Yeah, and we showed those income categories, so they would have to be within those ranges. There's a table that HCD provides where we put those in there.
Is the very low mostly like Section 8 type housing? Is almost all subsidized housing, or no?
It's definitely subsidized housing. For us to produce those units, it most certainly needs to be subsidized. It doesn't necessarily need to be Section 8. I mean, there's other forms of funding and types.
So I have a question. So on the 6,600 allocations, so those are just like how they're zoned? Because they're obviously not, how do you allocate them?
I'm sorry,
It's all paper, it's just paper, right?
I
That's what I'm
didn't
saying.
quite, wasn't clear on the question, if you could clarify.
So on all those categories, the ones Commissioner Thomas just talked about, very low, low, average, about, those are just numbers we want to hit, right? They're just zoned. You had to go out,
Right.
and you had to go out, Orlando and Kim, and you had to go out and change the general plan to
Yeah.
reflect this,
E- e-
right?
Exactly, yes. And so, yeah, for our housing, when we adopted our housing element, December of 2022,
Right.
we did have to demonstrate to State Department of Housing and Community Development how we would be able to accommodate the units with zoning. So yeah, the zoning, our zoning does, and housing element shows that we have the sites zoned adequately to accommodate it. The real challenge is actually producing the units for those lower income
That
categories.
answers my question. So, and this is this going to stay the same, or is it change? Okay, SCAG manages this, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a state requirement. It's the Department of Housing and Community Development that,
Okay.
along with SCAG, they every 8 years they have a methodology where they allocate the units. What each jurisdiction in the state is required to accommodate.
Yeah, but this total number will not change for this period, which is the 8 years.
Okay, thank you.
And just to be clear, the city has identified land available for development for these types of housing. And the city's not a developer. We're hoping that we get a developer to come in and offer to build these units, and we have land identified for this type of development, right?
That's correct.
So you said the challenge is finding a developer to come in and
Right.
offer to build that type of housing.
Right, exactly. And, the housing element is, identified ways that we would help encourage that and accommodate that.
Okay.
Thanks for the clarification.
So here's a breakdown of our last year's housing activity. So last year, we entitled 635 units, and then we issued, you saw that in the last table, 1,589. And there's a breakdown of the different types of structures, so single-family, multi-family, ADUs, and manufactured homes. And then we completed permits for 653. This is when the homeowner gets to move into their home. So that's just the breakdown from those reports. And essentially that's it. So in conclusion, staff recommends review the general plan and housing element annual progress report for 2023 as required by state law to show progress on the general plan and receive and file this report.
All right, thank you, Ms. Luna.
Before you ask any additional questions, just wanted to acknowledge both Kim and Doug. This is a significant amount of work that needs to be done, a lot of research that needs to be completed as well. And both Kim and Doug have spent a lot of time, and they've done a great job to put this together. And let me tell you, I've done a few other of this type of reports in previous places, and by far this is probably the best that I've seen.
Good job, Doug.
Yeah, very good. We definitely want to commend the city and staff for the amount of time and work it takes to put this together, so thank you. And I know the state, comes down and tells us what we got to do, and we just got to do it, and you guys have done a great job, so thank you very much. Do you guys have any questions for staff?
I just wanted to make a comment that I know that other cities negotiate these numbers with SCAG. Did you negotiate? Well, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to make that comment.
We definitely provided our input. That's
Yeah.
when they were going through this on the methodology, and
Good.
yeah, it was there was a lot of controversy about it. So
I know. Thanks, Doug.
Anything from this side? Go ahead, Joe.
Just a general comment. Before the meeting, I received a package by email. It's a thick, very thick package with all the details. I'm so impressed with all the projects we are working on. There are a few projects that I'm just definitely looking forward to completion. The number one is the overpass, the Gabani overpass. We really need this project done. The traffic is getting heavier on the main Newport Road, so that would really help tremendously. Yes. Another project that I look forward to is the Newport Road raised medians. The speed on Newport Road is getting faster and faster. Maybe the median is going to help for public safety. So I would like to say thank you to the planning department. Thank you. That's all.
thank you.
Okay. So moving on to item number 11, the Community Development Director comments. Orlando, do you have any comments for us tonight?
No comments today. Thank you.
Okay.
Can I ask a question in regards to that?
Yes, please do.
So the city took action, well, threatened action or something on the theater, and as far as tearing it down or cleaning it up, whatever. What's the latest on that?
We're currently in communication with the property owner. They recently submitted a pre-application to modify what was previously approved. So staff is currently reviewing that proposal, and we'll provide some comments and go from there.
Thank you, sir. All right, Commissioner reports on committee activities. Have you guys been to any other MCAC meetings or anything else to report on?
No, we're supposed to have these one-on-two meetings coming up here, and I guess we're not going to have representation from the Planning Commission now. Is that correct? In other words, MCAC with Edna, but do you know what that's for, Joe?
That meeting is for MCAT, not related to Planning Commission.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's for the MCAC.
Yeah.
But anyway, from what I'm told by Michael Knighton, they're gonna go, what'd you call it, Michael, they have?
Commissioner Madrid, I think I can provide some input.
yeah, yeah.
I believe the city council, at the last council meeting, either took action or is considering to change the makeup of the MCAC committee, where it may not be from members of the commission. So I was not at the meeting, so I'm not sure whether that was a final action or it's something that they requested to bring back for further consideration.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Which I hope they keep it the way it is, because usually, we'll choose two more or people from Planning Commission to represent MCAC.
Okay. Any future agenda item requests from the commission?
No. Cheryl's not here. Wait till she.
Okay. If there's nothing else, I'd like to say Happy Valentine's Day. Our spouses are excited that we're here tonight together.
Yeah.
They're appreciative of that. I'm sure they appreciate that we got a short meeting tonight. So it is 6:21. This meeting is adjourned.